heavy rainfall and gusty winds. All the computer models are forecasting some kind of development over the next few days. That could be a tropical depression or a tropical storm, even a hurricane. But what the models aren't agreeing on is what track this system will take once development occurs. So that's what we're holding our breath all about, more or less. What can you do? You just have to wait and see, right? But over the next few days, we should hopefully have a good idea of where it's heading. And if it develops into a tropical storm, the name will be Melissa. Some bad news, too, over the weekend. We had another pedestrian fatality on West Bay Road. This is the second pedestrian to die as a result of being hit by a vehicle while crossing West Bay Road in a span of about, 5 weeks? And this accident happened Saturday night near Coconut Joe's. This one is a little bit more complicated than the other one last month because the police are saying that the driver of the car was experiencing a medical emergency at the time of the collision. But it still illustrates, that crossing West Bay Road can be kind of dangerous. And what do we do to make it safer? How do we make West Bay Road safer for pedestrians? It's the strip, at least we used to call it back in the day, right? A busy road, cars, pedestrians, all of whom are, well, not all of whom, but many of whom are unfamiliar with the rules of the roads here in Cayman. How do we make it safer? Any ideas? Remember, it's your show, so pick up the phone, give me a ring. And someone just whispered in my ear here. A little bird. A little bird told me, says, tell him to stop wearing black at night while you're crossing the road. That's why I avoid Crew Road at night, People wearing black on a bicycle with no light. And, Crew Road is, these days, it's comparatively narrow to other roads. And you got people's fences and walls right there next to the asphalt. Doesn't give much space for a pedestrian or a bicycle to have any room to operate. So remember at one point in West Bay Road, they had these little islands. And I remember I was doing Issues 27. It was on the TV show on Cayman 27. And it was something about road safety. And this guy, I think it was a Jamaican caller, and he dubbed these little islands that they had built for pedestrians to have a safe spot in the middle of the road. He dubbed them cribs. And after he came on, made a call into the show, and he called them cribs. Everybody just called these little islands in the middle of West Bay Road cribs. So I don't know, do we have to bring back the cribs so people can cross halfway and have an island to stop and make sure the other lane is completely clear? Obviously, there's an issue there. There's a safety issue. So we need to come up with something. The government has delivered its strategic policy statement in Parliament. Of course, this is the document that sets out the direction that the government intends to take the country, the things that they intend to do. There was a lot of criticism from the opposition, I remember, because this was supposed to be done in the summer, and now they delayed it. But I think that was a good move. I think that was a good move because here you have a coalition government coming in. It's not like you have one party that have already set down goals and so forth. Here's a coalition government coming in, so they get to feel each other out, get to bond. And also, for any government, I think any government needs time to get their feet really planted on the ground, and then, see what can be done realistically. Because it's one thing to be on the outside and saying, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that, and we will do this. Well, you get in there and you get to see some facts that you weren't seeing from the outside, and perhaps you can't quite go that way. There's a different reality once you get into the government, and now it's your responsibility. So things take on a new perspective, and I think they did a good move there to hold off and get a good perspective on what needed to be done and what can be done. Let's take a little bit of a break here, and we'll come back and we'll talk more about this strategic policy statement. But you can also get in on the action here. Pick up the phone, give me a call. The phone numbers are 1-800-534-8255. That's Compliments of Flow. Or other users, 949-8037, 949-6990. Or if you like WhatsApp number is 925-3261. I'll be right back.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami, and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply, and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The wait is over. The crown awaits. The Lions and Leos Club of Grand Cayman proudly present the 42nd Miss Teen Cayman Islands pageant returning August 8th, 2026. Are you bold, talented, and ready to shine? If you're between the ages of 15 and 18, this is your moment to step forward, showcase your brilliance, and embrace the journey of a lifetime. Visit the Miss Teen Cayman Instagram and Facebook pages for registration details. The crown is calling. Will you answer? Brought to you by the Lions and Leos Club of Grand Cayman.
When you choose Cynical Motor Insurance, you're not just getting coverage. You're joining a community that cares about protecting you and your loved ones. Why Cynical? Personalized coverage tailored to your needs. 24/7 claim service, always just a call away. And peace of mind with CARE roadside assistance for flat tires to towing, anytime, anywhere in Cayman. Ready for a quote? Visit cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Aunt Jemima, go tell your mama, conk knock on no bone. Aunt Jemima, go tell your mama, conk knock on no bone.
Hey Cayman, we are back. Your one and only Cayman Islands folk singers live in concert. Friday, October 24th and the 25th at the Harkwell Theatre. Bring the family and enjoy a walk down memory lane with Memories in Melody. Series of songs to remember. The Cayman Islands Folk Singers. Friday, October 24th and Saturday, October 25th at the Harkwell Theatre. Show starts at 7 p.m. on Friday and gates open at 6:30 p.m. And on Saturday, gates open at 5:30 and show starts at 6 p.m. Tickets are available at the Intergenerational Hub, Winner Circles, and the Folk Singer members. $15 for adults, $10 for children. Memories in Melody is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Cayman's Got Talent, Senior Style. The Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage is proud to host the Older Persons Month talent show. Legacies in Motion, honoring the past, inspiring the future. Your time has come to be the golden star. Whether you sing, dance, tell stories, or play an instrument, your stage awaits. Join us on October 18th at the Aston Ruddy Civic Centre in Cayman Brac, or October 20th in Grand Cayman at the Harkwell Theatre. Showtimes 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. To register your talent, call 244-5754 or email ysch-events@gov.ky.
It's time once again to dance for diabetes. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and BAF Insurance is inviting you to dance for diabetes with us on Saturday, November 14th from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. at 7 Mile Beach Park. Warm up with the Performance Lab, Zumba with School of Fitness. Bring a love gift for the Cayman Islands Diabetes Association. Refreshments courtesy of Reliable Industries. Registration is free, and let's dance for diabetes awareness. Register now at bafcayman.com.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and it is open line here on Talk Today. So if you have some ideas that you want to pass on, some comments on current affairs, or maybe you just want to get something off your chest, give me a call. You want to get something off your chest? I'll be like your therapist, you know. Let a little steam off. Not too much, though. Just a little steam. It started talking about the strategic policy statement that government has tabled in the House. And here are some of the broad outcomes, as they term it. The broad outcomes of the strategic policy statement: education, immigration, and workforce development. Strong education and immigration systems that support a highly skilled and adaptable Caymanian population. Interesting that they put education in there with immigration and workforce development, because that has always been a point of discussion there, where people are being educated abroad, gaining a degree, and then not being able to find appropriate work when they come home. So there needs to be some kind of coordination there. We do have someone on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi.
I am saying that no more overhead crossing, because I live off of West Bay Road, and the people don't use them.
Okay.
They really don't use them. They don't even press the lights when they're about to cross. They just cross.
Mm-hmm.
So I experience it very often.
So you travel that road a lot?
I live off of West Bay Road.
Okay.
So they don't even, press the light and see if it's on and then cross. Most of them hide behind the pole and just come across. I'm one of them that look out for the lights flashing.
Right.
But in a lot of cases, they don't press the lights.
Yeah, but the pedestrian has a responsibility also. It's like you say, press the light, but check to see that the traffic has stopped. You know,
Well, at
you
least
just
if
can't
you
step
are in
out.
the crossing
You
area,
can't step out there.
I checked the crossing area to see if there's anybody in it,
Right.
and there's nobody in it. And then they just step from nowhere, and they're not even in the crossing. The person that was hit was a person in the crossing area.
The person who got hit last night. I mean, on
Yes.
Saturday.
Yes.
That I didn't get that detail.
Okay. Okay, because like I said, I live off of that road over 42 years now.
So you've seen all the action along there.
Oh, yes. I go like 15 miles an hour on West Bay Road and looking. And if I have a passenger in the car, say, I can't talk to you now
Yeah.
because I'm busy looking.
You got to watch out for other cars and pedestrians.
Yes. Yes. So
With these
West
people,
Bay Road and Eastern Avenue, disaster.
when you say you travel on West Bay Road all the time, so the people that are attempting to cross, do they look to you as if they would be tourists?
Most times. Most times, or workers like waiters, waitresses.
Yeah.
You know, but the point is the people need to go slower on West Bay Road and areas like that, and be on the lookout. Just be on the lookout all the time.
You think there needs to be more crossings, more with the lights that flash?
They need to repair the lights that are not flashing.
Oh, there's some that don't work, you're saying?
Yes. A friend of mine told me today that she pressed it and it never came on. And she called and reported it, and nothing has been done.
Yeah, well, okay. That's a problem right there.
Because this is a tourist area, they need to check these things and repair them ASAP.
Absolutely.
Because every flight that comes in have new people.
Yeah, and they're not familiar with our roads.
Yes, and it doesn't even, I don't know if anything there says press. You know, press the cross.
I think it does. I think there's a little sign there.
Because I've never used one. I've never walked on that road. But I know that even on my avenue here in Snug Harbor, I see people, we have a lot of B&Bs in my avenue.
Yeah.
And I see them coming down the road on the right.
Yeah, when they make that turn in, and they just automatically go to the side that they're used to driving on.
Yes. Yeah. And I think there's on the rental cars there should be something there that says drive on the left.
I think a lot of them have a little sticker on the dashboard that says, remember to drive on the left.
Well, twice where I live, which is 40-something years in this house, I've met bumper to bumper with cars, and I'm saying, I'm not moving over, I'm just going to stop. And it's when I stop that I signal to them, move over.
Yeah.
You know? So it's all that stuff happening, the lack of education. I don't drive in America because I don't know to drive on the right.
Yeah, well, what happens, the same thing happens to me when I drive in America as what happens to the tourists here, especially when you make a turn. You make that turn onto another street or something, and you're kind of like on automatic pilot.
Yes.
You forget,
Your brain has not adjusted.
And you're on automatic pilot, and you just go to that side that you usually drive on.
Well,
you have to be conscious of that all the time.
I think you shouldn't drive there. Because I had house guests once that were from Alaska, and they were here for quite a while. And he went back to Alaska, drove on the left, and killed the whole family.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's never gotten over that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
The thing was, I learned to drive in America. And then when I came back to Cayman, and I would go just back to the States for a vacation or something. But I'm usually very conscious of it. But you want to go to that side naturally. You just gotta be conscious.
I don't drive out to Cayman. It's too much bother.
But what would you say would make West Bay Road safer? I know you said drive slower and that sort of thing.
First thing is to drive slower.
Did they reduce the speed limit on West Bay Road, didn't they?
Yes, many times, because I'm here over 52 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying those that want to go faster, take the bypass road here.
Right.
Or just know that it's slow. Flashing lights all along, slow.
Yeah, it's a busy road with a lot of distractions, and like a lot of people, cars, people on foot, people crossing the road. You have to be conscious of what is happening in front of you.
Yeah, and there's also no real tourist season. We have tourists in Cayman all year.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, my area now has become quite a B&B area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course, the crossings that we do have with the lights, we have to make sure that they're working.
Well, my friend told me this morning that there's a few of them not working, and she personally reported them, and they're still not working.
Yeah, let's hope that is remedied real soon.
We're hoping someone is listening.
Well, ma'am, thank you so much for the call.
You too, thank you.
All right, you have a good afternoon.
You too.
Yeah. Let's take a break. I'll be right back.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Dan up with a rock and he hit the cow.
Hi, Cayman. We're back. Your one and only Cayman Islands folk singers, live in concert. Bring the family and enjoy a walk down memory lane with memories in melody, stories and songs to remember. Friday, October 24th and Saturday, October 25th at the Harkwell Theatre. Show starts at 7 on Friday with the gates opening at 6:30, and on Saturday gates open at 5:30 and showtime starts at 6. Tickets are available from the Intergenerational Hub, Winner's Circle, and from members of the Cayman Islands Folk Singers. Tickets are $15 for adults and $10 for children. Come, enjoy. Memories in Melody is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Just then, old Lorraine stepped up. Poor old Whitmore, he was so...
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. We have a caller on the line, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Charlo. How you doing?
All right, and yourself?
Good, thanks. Charlo, I just want to make a comment on the lady that just called before you took your break there.
Uh-huh.
She's absolutely right. You know, the stretch of road from, let's call it from the Esso station there on North Church Street, heading west down to the public beach, Kimpton.
Yeah.
That has now become our tourism hub. And it is one of the most poorly taken care of pieces or stretches of road in the island. Number two, it is the busiest thoroughfare that we have. And in my opinion, it is up to our government, primarily NRA, whoever it is that makes the road. There should be only designated times for heavy equipment, i.e. dump trucks, backhoes, whatever the hell you want to call them.
Right.
Should be allowed to travel that road in a designated time zone area. If it's going to be, let's say, from 7 a.m. in the morning for 1 hour, they should have 1 hour to complete their journey and be done with it. Number three on that, it should be that speed limit there is strictly and highly enforced at 25 miles an hour zone. There should be no overtaking there whatsoever. None. Period. Zero. Anybody caught overtaking there, minimum fine, $150 immediately on the spot.
Yeah, and some people love to use that middle line there, which is, for turning, really. But they like to use it as a passing lane.
Exactly. Number four, and going there, right? They should not, and this is coming to the designated crossings. Those crossings, the people crossing there, and she's absolutely correct, the people there press that light and walk out into the road immediately.
As if that's going to just stop the traffic. Press the button, the traffic will stop.
Yeah, the traffic can't stop when they're on top of the crossing, and it's stupid. Number five down there, we have no sidewalks for people to walk on. Nothing is contiguous along that entire stretch of road. And that's something that should be highly enforced. Planning must designate that a full stretch of sidewalk, in conjunction with the NRA, be applied. And I don't know how wide they have to be. This one that I'm against here now is what? Maybe 3 feet. But you can't do a 3-foot sidewalk. You need to do at least 4 to 6 feet. 6-foot sidewalk in order for people to be comfortable.
Yeah, and you often see tourists coming down, and it's 3 of them walking together, and they're walking at 3 abreast because they're a group. They're on vacation together.
Exactly. And on top of that, why can't we clear the bush from the road? there. Why can't we clean up that area? It is ridiculous for people to visit this island and see the thoroughfare of our tourist hub in the condition that it is. Why is it not maintained? The last one, which is most important there, is lighting the street properly. That road is dark at night. People walk there dressed in black, which they do all over the island. But they expect to be seen and to be done with. It is not right. Strong enforcement needs to be had. And it's just plain and simple. So we'll leave that one for now.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you say, because I don't know, I don't go West Bay Road at night too often. But as a matter of fact, thinking about it, it's probably been a while since I've been down there at night. But to say that it's not lit well, because, I mean, every place else seems to have so much light.
It's not. You've got light on one side of the road only. There's none on the opposite side.
I see what you're saying.
You know, so that excuse doesn't fly. In an area like that, you must have light.
Yeah, that's the heart of the tourism district, so you would think it would be lit up well.
You go anyplace else, walk down Fort Lauderdale seafront, waterfront.
Yeah.
Walk on, man, you know, they're all lit. They're all lit properly. But leaving that alone now and saying for that, right? I just read the most ridiculous thing, because I saw this video, which I'm sure everybody has seen, of this guy beating up this woman in Camana Bay.
Oh, he reverses and knocks her down with the car door? Yeah.
Now, it is reported in the news that there's 2 off-duty police officers watching this happen. No, come on, give me a break.
Yeah.
You know, do you just dress these people up and put a uniform on them and say you're a policeman? I mean, I tell you, back in my time when I was growing up, they couldn't, if that had been done, oh my God, he'd have probably been tarred and feathered and done away with.
Well, I saw that video, and I was also struck by the fact that there were 3 people, looked like men, just walked by the woman. They just walked on. She was down on the ground, and nobody stopped and said, "Are you okay?" They just walked on.
You know, are we becoming like sometimes in the streets? I remember one time back in New York, which I was told it was stupid for me to do, but there was a guy lying on the side of the road there with a knife wound and him bleeding like hell.
Yeah.
And I stopped to render assistance, and my friend who said, they said, "No, you don't do that here, you know.
Don't get involved."
Yeah. So we've taken up that mentality here as well.
Yeah. That certainly looked like that way in that video.
I'd great to see what's happening with this little island. I'm telling you, it has absolutely gone insane, and we have to stop. Somehow or other, we're talking about Caymanians. We don't have Caymanians anymore. Look at this one crashing in the middle of the road right here in front of me. Oh my God.
Well, listen, thank you for your input. I got someone holding on, and I want to get them in before news time. But thank you. You made some great points there.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Have a good afternoon. We have someone else on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yeah, I can't help but pipe in on the last 2 calls there about the traffic thing, you know.
Uh-huh.
It's on all of those signals, there really should be at least a 5-second delay for when the button is pushed and when the light comes on. And there should be signs that say right up, right visible right by the button saying, "Wait for light," or something to that effect, because it's happened to me various times. I see somebody walking up the sidewalk and he arrives right at the light just about the time that I do, and he pushes the button and jumps up in front of you.
Yeah, well, now, that's something that we keep hearing about. people just push a button and step out into the street. I think those lights, you push the button and they start flashing the yellow lights, and people think they can go, but maybe what they need is one of those, where they have the hand that is signaling, like, don't walk, or you actually have don't walk.
Yeah. Well,
don't walk, and then when you, like you said, there's a delay, you push the button, there's a delay to get the traffic to stop, and then a walk sign flashes.
Yeah, I think that that would be the proper protocol or procedure for those kind of things.
Because I've observed it on Hulda Avenue also, where there's one there by the roundabout. And people push the button, and as soon as those yellow lights flash to get the attention of the cars, the pedestrian steps out. Yeah.
And I'm not sure that we don't have people traversing the roads who may have never seen one of those traffic lights before, or those pedestrian lights before.
Oh, sure, because I don't think you don't see that style in the States.
Yeah, it's really gets back to the proper educational system or educational outreach. Because how many new people do we have arriving here every week?
Yeah, I was just told by someone that the first time they'd seen that style of walk light, it was when they came to Cayman.
Yeah, and hundreds of people arrive here new every week, and they're using the roads. That's a primary.
Yeah, they're going to be on the road.
Yeah, that's a primary location for the rest of the time they're here. So anyway, I thought I'd pipe in there just because it really, especially people who may be not as alert as other people are, it puts them in danger as well as the person.
Yeah, we do have older people who vacation here.
Yeah. So I think a delay and maybe a sign, or like you mentioned, the hand sign, the lighted hand sign, but something to tell them don't step out until you see the light or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Thanks for the call.
All right.
All right. We're going to have more talk today, but right now it is coming up on, it is 1 o'clock. That means it's news time.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
HSA's orthopedic clinic has relocated to the second floor of the Smith Road Medical Center. Our dedicated team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons treat conditions ranging from spine to ankle injuries in adult and pediatric patients. We offer minimally invasive procedures from ligament reconstruction to hip and knee replacement. If you have experienced an injury due to sports or day-to-day activities, call 949-8600 and schedule an appointment with HSA's orthopedic clinic, now located at the Smith Road Medical Center.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. Captain Keith Parker Tibbets, MBE, JP. Following the 1932 hurricane, like most young men growing up in Cayman in that era, the call of the sea was heard more strongly than any other. Keith Tibbets Sr. of Cayman Brac was no different. After assisting with the rebuilding of the family home, resurrecting the family car, and helping other relatives and the community rebuild, he built and sold several catboats before going to Jamaica to seek employment as a seaman, and his long distinguished career got started on September 25, 1935, when he stepped on board the schooner Admiral Sturdy, which his father built and was later sold to the Colonel family. A year later, he joined the Canadian banana boat Lady Somers in Canada. During his seagoing year, he visited several ports in England and made 11 trips around the continent of Africa, including a distinguished military career. This was part 3 of a special Sister Islands vignette series dedicated to Captain Keith Parker Tibbets.
I'll be back. I've got 22 more days.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevi Ebanks. Demisio Frederick has formally pleaded not guilty to a single count of murder relating to the death of Christopher Johnson in December 2024. He appeared via video link from HMP Northwood on Friday. Mr. Frederick remains in custody and is due to stand trial on the 23rd of February. The proceedings are expected to run for approximately 7 to 10 days. A case management hearing has been scheduled beforehand on the 15th of January. In regional news, Dominica police have made the largest drug bust in the country's history, seizing 1,730 kilos of cocaine valued at EC 46 million as a part of Operation Clean Street. Acting Police Commissioner Lincoln Corbett praised officers for their efforts, noting the haul far exceeds previous records. The operation has also led to 24 arrests, the confiscation of firearms, ammunition, and over US $10,000 in cash. In regional news, Robert Dennis, president of the National Association of Haitian Media, has died at the age of 78 following a stroke. Widely praised for his commitment to press freedom and responsible journalism, Dennis was also a celebrated sound engineer who helped shape Haitian and Caribbean music from 1970 to 2000. Tributes from the U.S. Embassy, Prime Minister Alex Phyllis Ims and the Presidential Transition Council described him as a visionary whose legacy will continue to inspire future generations. That's your latest headlines. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's take a quick look at the weather. It's a kind of rainy afternoon here in Georgetown, and today's forecast, thunder showers through the afternoon and right into the night. Winds east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. And Sunset is at 5:57 this evening. And taking a look at the radar, we have showers in our area, and you can now, with the radar, you can now have a close-up of the Sister Islands, and yep, they're having showers over there. A good little one over Little Cayman there. And checking in with the National Hurricane Center in Miami's 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. Got a big red patch there over the Central Caribbean. And let's see what they're saying about this. This is their 2 o'clock update. 2 o'clock their time, 1 o'clock our time. Recent satellite wind data indicate the tropical wave located over the eastern Caribbean seas still lacks a closed circulation, but continues to produce a concentrated area of showers and thunderstorms near and to the east of the wave axis. And compared to yesterday, surface observations suggest the circulation is gradually becoming better defined and environmental conditions are forecast to become a little more conducive for development as the system slows its forward motion. Tropical depression or storm is now likely to form over the next day or two as it moves into the central Caribbean Sea. Regardless of development, heavy rainfall and gusty winds are possible over portions of the ABC Islands during the next couple of days. Interest in Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, that's Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and Cuba should monitor its progress as there is a risk of heavy rain and flooding, strong winds, and rough surf later this week. And that's quite a wide area there. That's from the ABC Islands, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, and Jamaica. We're not mentioned. So we've got to keep an eye on that and see what's happening. And, Radio Cayman will keep you up to date as soon as we get more information as to where this thing is going to be headed. We will let you know. So stay aware of the weather this week. Right now it's just time to monitor, but, we may have to take some action going into the weekend there or something. We just have to wait and see which way it's going. I'd started talking about the strategic policy statement that the government delivered in Parliament. And some of the broad outcomes are education, immigration, and workforce development, strong education and immigration systems that support a highly skilled and adaptable Caymanian population. And as I said earlier, interesting that they have education and immigration there in that same outcome, along with workforce development, because people go and get an education, and when they return, they can't find work that is appropriate for what they went and spent 5 years of their life studying for, and have to take something else and wait until they can find the kind of work that they are educated in. And another broad outcome, housing, infrastructure, and environment. Sustainable physical development that prioritizes affordable housing, ensures resilient infrastructure, and protects nature. We do have a caller, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Hi there. How are you doing?
I'm fine. And yourself?
Not too bad.
What's up?
I was thinking, I remember a couple of years ago, I should say a couple of years, but when Ralston took education in 2001, I was actually a recipient in that year, of a scholarship to go overseas and explore myself in my education. And that was the first year, to be, if I'm not mistaken, that students weren't bounded to government.
You just had to return home.
You just had to return home. And so I missed it by the glimpse of an eye. And at that time, I couldn't appreciate it. But when I was like, oh, it's a great thing. But as you grow older and you hear of these issues that are still tagged to immigration, where you're seeing, if you look back since 2001, that was my bachelor's, and you look back over the years, that's over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you do a survey, so to speak, if you did, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And you say, is everyone where they are because they want to be there? or was there no opportunity to be there in government? And then you look at how you've hired in government over the past years, and are there Caymanians fitting those posts as we have the issue now 20 years later? So I say that to say I appreciate now the bounding, even though I didn't fall under that, and I can see where it can be reinstated. However, like any business or any private business, you have a return on investment that you're obligated to, whether it be government or private sector, right? And I think for the government, yes, I've attained my degree, and I also went back maybe 10, 15 years later for a master's.
What did you study?
Business management and marketing, and my master's was in business finance and marketing. So you got a balance of different persons that I'm hearing now that you're concentrating on different tech areas or even that of business or finance or accounting. But at the end of the day, I just think government lost on their return on investment so badly, because I'm walking with my 2 degrees, just walking around doing what I want to do with it. But then the person or the organization that funded me, that I was obligated to, that was in my sense, because you want to come back and do something for your country, and you have that pride, right?
Yeah.
It was lost. It's been lost between the last 20 years, and I'm a replica of that. And I always speak about it. I always chant about it, because I just think it's not a waste to me, but it's a waste of money and your investment into. You either have a brain drain, some don't come back. So you're getting 2 in 1 of a miss or a pass, double whammy of your investment. And some don't return and some do return. And those that do return, there's no utilization of them.
How did things work out for you? Not having a guaranteed job with government. How did things work out?
Well, if you notice, both degrees are marketing, so I'm an all-rounder. Whatever it may be, whether it be finance or whether it be entrepreneurially, or I always believe. I went to school in New Jersey, New York, in the tri-state. So you always see people trying to get 2-3 jobs. So I always believed, whether or not in 2-3 jobs or 2 jobs, just to occupy myself. But my main job was in finance when I came back here to Cayman, and I should have fine. But what about those who don't have that forecast in their setting and the maturity, or parents to guide them as maybe mine did, or just that whole vision for your country and feeling that representation? I think it's just so much loss. But I'm happy that Ralston is back, I guess, to say, continuing his vision that he had, because he's a pretty smart guy. I appreciated the actual ruling under him as just a young person. I must give that as a good education minister. He was really a floor. I have to give him hats off, because it's what it is. But just for the fact of, we have lost a lot. And, I know my boss said to me a couple of weeks ago, when the kids were graduating from prep school and Catholic, this is where the money should go. And I said, right? And he's like, but some of them will never see Cayman again. And I'm like, wow, it's just a brain drain from the start, because there's no vision here. Even if you wanted to guide the parents, you couldn't. I just don't see how you can, because I've been gone from the 90s, which I went to school in Jamaica, and I went to school in the U.S. It's been since that time we haven't corrected our education system, and it's just been lost.
When you say corrected our education system, what do you mean?
I mean, there's competition in the Caribbean. If you look at the results for this year over the past 15 years, some subjects and some areas have been poor and some have been needing improvement. And at the same time, Barbados and Jamaica have been most competitive, whether it be for sport or for, because when I left here, I went and saw Caymanians at the school that I went to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that was in the 90s. So it just shows you that there's still parents out there that are looking for a more competitive program for their children, knowing that it's lacking here in Cayman. And I can respect that. And I never understood why my mother did it, but, you can appreciate it now.
So you're talking about some of the fundamental subjects, math and reading and...
Just overall, just the whole competition of yourself to another nation, being a small island, you never know until you get out of Cayman how great you are, or how great you can come back and be.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, don't get me wrong, my mother is a pretty great person. My parents are pretty great in their own light, living here all their lives. But at the end of the day, you still go through different programs that set you apart, or you go abroad for training, or you go abroad for a course, and you still get that experience. And I can understand, but we need to invest in our people. Human capital is nothing that you can lose on. And whether it be in tourism, whether it be in finance, whether it be, it's just for I find that the HR managers, no matter what their occupation, their nationality, they need to understand that they have a responsibility. I always hear you, I listen to your show, and you hear people call in saying, well, the Trinis will look out for the Trinis, the Jamaicans will look out for the Jamaicans, the Americans will look out for the Americans. But we need, as Caymanians, to look out for our own people as well, whomever is in an HR position. It's sad to say, but I've experienced it as well along my career in different areas where if the Caymanian HR manager was not Caymanian, I would have not gotten that job. So over the years, you experience different things, and as sophisticated as you want to put it in layman term, it still means the same thing. We have to look out for each other, and that's
true.
Plainly as it is, it may sound. Some people might say, "Oh, you're so small-minded," but you experience it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the competition is so wide now. I mean, when a firm in the financial industry puts an ad out, they're not just putting that in the local paper.
No,
that's online with Indeed and all those other, online job hunters. So they get applications from all over the world.
They're getting creative, and that's where there needs to be some zoom in into the how we post and someone monitoring from that angle, from a macro perspective, because I've heard it, I've heard the creativity of it, and I'm like, wow, do people really think like that? But I have experienced it where, and I'm sure many of your listeners listening this afternoon can maybe say the same, because a job has been put out and you, the Caymanian, applies the managerial post. The salary, just per se, is $6,000-7,000. But the overseas person coming, they're getting perks, and they're also getting more than what was posted, which is $10,000.
Yeah.
For that post. And I myself have experienced it. So I'm not saying that some people may say, oh, you're just imagining things. You're not imagining things. It actually happens.
No, I hear that all the time.
It's just the proof that you don't have that the like I said, there has been jobs where I've gone in. If the HR manager was not Caymanian, I would not have known what was happening.
Well, hopefully the government will come through with what they've said they're going to be doing, to coordinate the granting of work permits with people who they know are on scholarship, and that their education is coming to an end and they're going to be coming home next year or whatever.
It's a smart move.
And you have that coordinated.
Yeah, because it's like an old sore. based on how I started the conversation, it's an old store, and it needs to be synchronized and more cohesive with the department to get it right and wish your people well. Because I heard you through the week call in people saying, oh, within immigration fights their own people. It does happen. Have I experienced it? Yes. Am I an entrepreneur? Yes. And you see it. You feel it, so we need to be more open-minded and more gathering, because when the Filipinos come here, when the Indians come here, you know what's the most unique thing for them? Togetherness.
Yeah. They might compete against each other in their country, but when they come to a foreign country, they take care of each other. Thank you so much for the call. Interesting food for thought there.
Have a good afternoon.
You take care. Bye-bye. We have someone else on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm all right.
Yeah, that's great. And then specific topic today?
Oh, well, it's we were talking there about immigration. We've been talking about traffic on West Bay Road. We just had another fatality over the weekend. Another pedestrian got knocked down and passed away. What's on your mind?
Yeah, that's really sad. I heard about that too. Our island is congested, and with the cars on the road, it is very terrible with how we see people drive. They tend to have more fun driving than being responsible.
True.
I guess driving under influence is the number one reason for deaths on this island. And I don't have nothing much more to say about that, but we need to learn how to be more responsible when we're on the road, driving for others, not for ourselves. And likewise, but I was just listening, and I heard about jobs in Cayman, and going away and coming back, and finding opportunities and not finding opportunities that should be provided for us as Caymanians.
Yeah, well, especially when you've been given a scholarship to go study something,
right?
And you come back, you should be able to find a job, right?
I would have hoped so. If they pay attention to the youth as much as they should, we wouldn't have a unemployment disaster. But speaking of disaster as well, there's something that I was watching over the weekend. Not global warming with an M, not global warming, right?
Mm-hmm.
But global warning.
Warning.
Warning, yeah, with an N.
Right.
And I really look at our development, and it's pretty alarming when we see our ecosystems and our environment being disregarded for a little bit of capital gain. And I go into the Caymanians. So when I see stuff like that, it reminds me of the reason why I didn't go away to college or anything after graduating 15 years ago from John Gray High School. I was fortunate enough to have been guided to be involved in junior achievement when I was young.
Uh-huh.
And junior achievement opened my eyes up 100 times more than what the government was incentivizing me for. Because if I had to pick classes in school when I was in high school, and they told me that I couldn't pick a specific subject because of maybe I already know, like Spanish and other things like that, I was discouraged from doing what I really wanted to do. But thankfully, when I was in junior achievement, it taught me how to be a businessman. 15 years later, here I am. And
good for you.
You know what? Yes, sir. Thank you. And you know what I gained experience off from being out of school is about Caymanians, not to criticize them, not to criticize us, because I want to try to help build us, but I noticed a lack of collaboration in our island between each other. And
Our last caller mentioned that too, taking care of each other.
right, and that's why I was encouraged. I felt compelled to call as well, because as a Caymanian also, I also wanted to try to encourage my elders to be a little bit more engaging with youth, and I actually trying my best to be involved in as much as possible with the agriculture. You see, West Bay has been ignored for a long time from my experience when it comes into the farmers market, and I tried my best this weekend to encourage people to come out to be involved in the farmers market in the Heritage Park in West Bay, in the front of Ed Bush Field.
Yeah.
It was just a little soft introduction, because I would like to see how many people would really respond in a positive or negative way. More optimistic to be positive, but at the same time, I would like to see a little bit more engagement in the government as well, with encouraging locals to also participate in farming, because food security is so important in our island, especially with the importation of goods, and we don't know where they're coming from. Genetic modified organisms are one of the most popular things for mass production.
So
And
is your
if we don't
business
pay
is your
attention to that-
business is your business agriculture related?
I work in the Agriculture Society,
Okay.
and I would love to encourage others to reach out to me. I'm Alejandro Dominguez. My number is 929-4774. I have no problem with talking with people openly about it. And I would love to see more people being engaged in the community and taking a part of this, because it is a very broad avenue for us as locals, especially people that own land, to contribute to the people of our society. And if I one person could try to encourage everyone and each other to encourage one another on our island, I'm hoping that we can make a change, and let's stop complaining about stuff and start doing things, because I'm a man of just with a mentality of just do it. You have people on this island that are developers, for example, that come in here. They're begging for forgiveness before they ask for permission, and I believe that we should do the same. I'm not encouraging illegal activities. I'm encouraging people with a bit of enthusiasm in their products, and they try to gain experience through other people's knowledge as well. Communicate with each other, not fight each other. You know, when we dislike something that one of the persons are saying, you know, like, we are not all alike, but we all live in the same island. So
Let's take care of each other.
collaborate more. Yes, and take care of each other. That's my main priority, is that us as Caymanians could take care of each other, because the foreigners are not doing it for us. We need to do it for ourselves.
Well, thank you so much for your call.
Yes, sir. So hopefully I can hear more back from people about this, and I'll be communicating a little bit more too this week. So,
Okay.
I want everyone to have a good week.
Well, have a good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care. I have to take a break, but don't go away. I'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. The ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom. The land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Yes, what is on your mind? We have open lines so we can talk about just about anything that you want to talk about. If you don't have the numbers, you can call on 1-800-534-8255. That's compliments of Flow. And if you're not a Flow user, you can use 949-8037 or 949-6990. Or you can even send us a WhatsApp or call us on WhatsApp, and that number is 925-3261. And we have a WhatsApp caller, as a matter of fact. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon. What's up, Mr. Glidden?
How are you doing?
Remember that ad? Was Abby? And,
so what's on your mind?
Trying to be jovial, but serious topics as usual, even though we're living
Hello?
to agriculture and business.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now.
Okay. Yeah, agriculture obviously needs to be focused upon. There's lots of new systems and ways to grow produce that we urgently need to investigate with the cost of living and the nutritional crisis facing a lot of people as well.
Mm-hmm.
With, the cheap junk food versus healthy, expensive food.
Yeah, a lot of people just turn to that junk food because that's what they can afford.
And it's what's convenient. But
yeah.
It takes less time to chop up a head of lettuce or make a salad than to drive to a fast food restaurant. It takes less gas too. But I'm also sad, of course, to hear about the recent fatality of the visitor at the West Bay Road.
Yes.
and especially the concerns about the crosswalks. I've been in the tourism industry for years now, and I live in West Bay, so I see it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Staff and visitors alike. Um, and the people across the road, often at night, often where there's no crossing. So care needs to be taken all around by drivers as well as visitors and residents. But as a solution, I think that the Cayman Tourism Association, I know that they were on the same strip, their office is on the same West Bay Road. And no, what's it called? Cyriba, the Real Estate Association.
Sariba.
Right. So those people and the hotels, the major hotels and condos, could do something. For instance, how much would it cost for them to dozen of those little hurricane lanterns or flashing lights? So if the guest wants to cross the road, even at a crossing, to say go across the road to a restaurant or to go shopping at night or something, take this beacon and turn it on when you're crossing the road. You know, you can buy those little lights. A lot of them are solar powered now. You don't even need batteries.
Yeah.
But also having that something tangible or physical would also hopefully make the guests more aware of the need to be cautious. You know, it's not a scare tactic. It's something to actually help them, obviously, but could be done by the Tourism Association, the Real Restaurant Association. These are all the people that are benefiting from our visitors. So we don't want people to come here and have a lousy or a terrible experience due to some accident, you know. But not even going into the issue of the local drivers, because that's another issue in itself.
Indeed.
A police presence on that road would help as well. Anyway, I think we could have both a couple of beat officers, you know, walking the sidewalks, and even a patrol car, you know, up and down that strip, dedicated to that strip would help, I think.
Just
but
on patrol.
Those are things that shouldn't cost an arm and a leg, but could help. But anyway, some solution is needed for sure.
Yeah, well, you know, 2 fatalities in 5 weeks shows you the danger of crossing that road. And as some people have pointed out, the people crossing are sometimes, you know, they think they push the button and it magically stops the traffic, but that's not how it works. So maybe those lights need to be modified to be able to control the pedestrian and the cars more efficiently and safer.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for the call. Yeah, go ahead. Hello? Are you there? Okay, I guess he's gone. We have someone else on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden. Happy Monday.
Same to you. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing okay. I was calling again about the bus services.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I want to publicly say it again, and I'll be doing a short video on this, and I hope whoever's listening will pass it around to the bus drivers and also the Department of Transportation, I think it's called, there in Eastern Avenue. I know the matter was discussed at great lengths in Parliament last week. The Minister J.E. Banks, and the opposition, you know, they had a discussion about the bus depots and the bus depot and the bus stops.
This is the one on Eastern Shedden Road on the corner of Eastern Avenue.
Well, that was a major discussion, as well as another bus stop. But they discussed bus stops overall. I think it was MP Brian, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, who brought the question, or maybe it was someone else. Don't quote me on it because I can't remember right now. But there was a lengthy discussion about the bus stops, their locations, who owns the bus stops, how government, plays a part in the bus stops and that sort of thing. And, they're going to be putting some new bus stops around the islands. But my call is in relation to something that was discussed, but during Parliament last week. So they're working on this for all the bus drivers that are listening, or people who may be listening, to relay the information. Parliament, the ministry is working on these issues. They're working on the bus stops, the public transportation. There was discussion about that specific location there on Eastern Avenue, corner of Eastern Avenue, Shedden Road. The hazardous, the hazard that it causes being right there in that corner, and that the buses are not supposed to be parking there waiting. They're just supposed to go in and collect passengers and come out after dispensing passengers. And so they're also reviewing about potentially moving that to a different location in the area. So there's a lot that was discussed about that. And the buses, I've noticed this morning and over the weekend that the buses are still driving erratic. These drivers do not care. There was one driver pulling out right there from the junction of Shedden Road, and he pulled right into the road to block the road so no other traffic, say there were cars behind that had on their indicators to turn left, because, they can turn left on a red light.
Mm-hmm.
And he blocked the entire roadway, and he came out and half of him was still onto the side of the road, but the other half of his bus was totally blocking the roadway. And he parked right there until the light changed green for him to proceed straight ahead, right? So what he should have done was just stay off the side of the road to the side and let any cars he should have been able to see there were cars parked that had their indicators on to turn left. So he's holding up a stream of traffic. And then this morning, another driver stopped right at the little island right in front of Anderson Square there, to the left. When you're just about to turn that little turn right there to move towards the front of the post office, there's a little island there.
Yeah.
I call it a little island.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The bus driver stopped right there in the middle of traffic in the morning and let off a passenger. And so she now has to, instead of him just pulling off to the left in front of Anderson Square and letting her off and then merging back over to the right and proceeding to the front of the post office and go over to the depot. No, he proceeds across and goes and stops right in the middle of the road to the island, lets her out. Then it's a hazard now for her to cross over the street in front of Anderson Square.
Of course, she might have said, let me out here.
Well, it's not in the onus of the passenger.
I know, but it might have been her. She might have caused him to stop there.
I see what you're saying, but the onus and responsibility is going to be on the driver if she ends up getting hit, and it can be proven that that's where he stopped to let her out, because they're not supposed to do that. And these drivers need to realize that they are they're causing a liability to the owners of the buses, because I understand the buses are individually owned.
Yeah.
And so there's relief coming in terms of from what Minister Jay is saying. They're working very, very diligently in order to combat this conduct of these bus drivers, because it's very unsafe and it's causing a lot of hazardous behavior that could end up becoming something very, very serious and very unsafe for passengers. And so they need to take heed and try to follow the law. They should not be parking there, because I understand from someone at Flow that they were not given permission to even park where they're parking along the roadway. They were congregating there in Flow's parking lot.
Yeah, on that side road.
No, well, they were parking in Flow's actual parking lot, and they were asked to. Yes, they were asked to stop because, like I said last week, and then you agreed, you had heard, that's going to be RCIPS central new location.
Listen, can you hang on? Can you stay on the line? Are you finished, close to finishing, or because I got to take a break?
I'm wrapping up. No, that's all I had to say. Yes, I'm wrapping up. Go ahead and take your break. I'll catch up with you another time.
Okay, good to hear from you.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. We're going to take a break. Be right back.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
Rotary Central Cayman Islands, in association with the Cayman Islands Health Services Authority and the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens, present East to West Health Check. Free for you, free for all. Free blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, body mass index screening and assessment. Free physician's consult. The 14th Annual Rotary Central Diabetes Awareness Screening. East End Health Center. Cost You Less West Bay. A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Georgetown. Saturday, November 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The East to West Health Check, a Rotary Central community initiative.
This hurricane season, don't wait until the last minute. Store before the storm. Stock up now with at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for a 3-day supply. And don't forget pets, the elderly, and nursing mothers. You'll need water for drinking and daily needs. And rest easy knowing the Water Authority is working hard to protect our water systems, keeping pumps, pipelines, and storage secure so you'll have safe, reliable water when you need it most. Be prepared. Store before the storm.
The Fall Labor Force Survey and Quality of Life Survey is currently being conducted by the Economics and Statistics Office. The Labor Force Survey seeks to collect data on employed and unemployed persons who are not in the labor force. The Quality of Life Survey seeks to gather information on life satisfaction, sense of well-being, financial security, economic outlook, social inclusion, sense of belonging to the local community, and perceived health. Trained interviewers with ID cards will visit randomly selected households. For more details, please call the ESO hotline 516-3329.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we do have a WhatsApp caller. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Charles. How are you today?
I'm fine, Mr. Billy. Good to hear from you.
Well, it's good to hear that you're doing well and engaging with us, the public. Now, I just want to comment something about immigration. You know, I'm the old foreigner who is very well invested in Cayman, not so much financially, but more professionally. So the issue of immigration is something I feel that I should really comment on.
Sure.
Now, the first thing, Charles, is this. what they are trying to do, well, the bill, of course, as most people know now, the Immigration Transition Amendment Bill, which is supposed to enact sweeping changes to the immigration and job preferences regime, has been published, and it's out there for consultation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is all a very big disappointment, both from the procedural as well as the substantive side. On the procedural side, now this is this is the most important piece of legislation government is going to enact on these subjects, maybe since the Cayman Protection Law of decades ago. And yet the government wants to consult in 28 days. They have given an email to which members of the public can send their comments. I would have thought that what they needed to do was they needed to do a white paper to explain in lay terms what they are trying to do, what is existing, what are the changes, and what results do they expect. Have a white paper to accompany the bill, and then have town halls in every district so that people can have a direct input.
Explain a white paper for us.
Pardon me?
When you say a white paper, what does that mean?
Okay. Okay, yeah. But a white paper, as many people are aware, is I know you know what it is, but you're saying this for your audience. A white paper is just a policy document which indicates to the public what the government wants to do. Okay, and usually it is used in a case where there is a particularly important matter of public interest, and so government feels that rather than just do a bill and take it to the House in the usual way, they do a white paper because it is a very important matter. They want the public to have input. They put it out there. Sometimes white papers are out there, sometimes for even 6 months, because the subject is important.
And it's easier to read than the bill.
Exactly. It is easier to read and you have more time because, as you know, under the Constitution, you only it gives 28 days from the date the bill is published to the time it is debated. That is hardly time for the public usually to get involved and to have changes done and so on and so forth. So a white paper is what you use for an important matter such as this. And then what they have done in the bill is they haven't dealt with all the subject matters. Some of them have been left to be dealt with by regulations. Again, if a matter is very, very important, you do not leave it to be dealt with by regulations because regulations are drafted by cabinet. They don't usually go out to public consultation, and you are leaving the public out. So as far as the procedure is concerned, it is undemocratic, it is wrong. To me, if anything, I think it is showing that they don't intend to consult. But let us go to the substance of it. Now, your program is a very respectable program, so I won't use any bad words, but I want to use a strong term. I think the whole bill is a scam. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yes, I think it's a scam. They are trying to tell people that they are doing something when actually they are doing absolutely nothing. But let me try to back that up with some evidence. Okay? Some of the things that have been asked, okay, what have Caymanians been complaining about? They have been saying we are dwindling as a proportion of the population in the Cayman Islands as a proportion of the number of workers, people working in different places. We are dwindling and we keep going down. We are already a minority and we are going down. And people have said as a result, that you need to put a cap on grants of status. Some of the suggestions have been that status should only be given through marriage and through descent. For example, you remember the Honorable Bernie Bush, the former MP, he moved a motion which was adopted in Parliament to say that there should not be more than 30 grants of status over and above those who get it by marriage and descent. So he was basically saying it should only be by marriage and descent. But beyond that, you should only give to 30 people. And it was passed. But is anybody talking about that? No, they are not talking about it. There's a suggestion from another person who said, and these are not my suggestions, these are suggestions by Caymanians. They said, for example, that you should ensure that the number of Stardust grants does not exceed the net birth rate among people who are Caymanians as of right. Okay, so that if at the end of the day, at the end of the year, you've got about 800 births of people who are Caymanians as of right, then the next year you shouldn't give more status than 800. In fact, they suggest that you should give maybe 50% only to ensure that you are not being overtaken. None of those suggestions have been taken up, and they have not even been discussed in the current proposals. Okay, then look at rollover. They say that they are going to introduce rollover in government. Okay, fair enough. But we learned through the deputy governor and the government that actually there were not very many people who were getting status through staying in government. Because, in fact, if I remember, the figures were like between 200 and only 250 to 300 people were getting or got status in government in the last 10 years, which came at that time, I'd calculated it to about 20 per year. So they say there are not very many. In fact, last year they were giving out more than 20 per week. Okay? So, and then on top of that, then they say that they are going to have exemptions for the police, for teachers, for people in the health services. And interestingly, they want to have exemptions also for the judiciary. I would have thought that in the judiciary, that's where you want rollover, because you want the people who are there now to be rolled over so that Caymanians can take those positions and so that Caymanians can be judged by people from their society. There are a lot of complaints in the courts, for example, that the Caymanians are not treated very well because the people who are there are either status holders or contract people. And how you can say that you want the judiciary to be exempted because you don't want to interfere with the independence of the judiciary, to tell you the very truth, that's utter nonsense. What you should be talking about is the opposite. And then they've also excluded now, I see from the bill, people who work for the Parliamentary Management Commission. Okay, so those people who work for Parliament are exempted. Again, I would have thought that you want the people who support your MPs to be local people. You are doing the opposite of what you are supposed to be doing. Okay, now let me try to wind up on a few general things. Like they have said, well, they want to extend the period for status from 15 years to 22 years. I don't see that will have any effect. People will stay as long as they need to. Okay, I did suggest that there should be amendments to the Public Service Management Law to ensure that there's a real advantage being given to Caymanians. That has not been addressed. Regulation 6 of the immigration regulations should be amended so that a succession plan is mandatory rather than discretion for people who apply for work permits. That has not been dealt with. They are now also claiming that under the British Nationality Act, naturalization should move from 9 years to 15 years. I'm not even quite sure that they can do that because they are purporting to amend the British Nationality Act. But maybe that act has been amended to allow overseas territories to do that. But if they have, then they haven't explained it in the letter.
Mr. Billy, Mr. Billy,
yeah.
Can you hang on and stay with me through the news and come
okay.
until we come back?
Thank you. I will.
Just hang on for me, okay? It's 2:00. Let's see what's making headlines.
Covering Little Cayman, Kim and Bride. Cover me.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
During an interview this morning with Radio Cayman's For the Record, representatives from the National Coalition for Caymanians, including Premier Andre Ebanks and Minister Rolston Anglin, said that they are breaking from the trend of their predecessors to bring hard rollover policies back. They say this is a stricter term limit rule that will require foreign workers to leave Cayman once their time is up before they can reapply. Premier Andre Ebanks says it closes loopholes that allowed long-term residents to automatically apply for permanent resident status after the qualifying time period. If your internet is moving slowly this morning, you might have been affected by Amazon's outage. According to Al Jazeera, Amazon's cloud services unit, Amazon Web Services, says it's recovering from a huge outage, causing connectivity issues for many companies around the world. The services disrupted include several popular websites and apps, including Fortnite, Snapchat, and Duolingo, and major banks. U.S. President Donald Trump and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese have signed an agreement on rare earths and critical minerals as China tightens control over global supply. The two signed the deal today at the White House. Trump said the agreement has been negotiated over 4 or 5 months. The two leaders will also discuss trade in a meeting today, submarines, and military equipment. These are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. A quick look at the weather. Forecast is calling for thunder showers straight through the night. And in the Caribbean, we have a strong tropical wave, and the National Hurricane Center in Miami is saying a tropical depression or storm is now likely to form over the next day or two as it moves into the central Caribbean Sea. And we'll be keeping an eye on that, see exactly where it's going to go, how much it's going to develop, and Radio Cayman will give you the latest information as soon as we have it. We have Mr. Billy still hanging in there on the phone. Mr. Billy, still there?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, and thanks for the time allowing me to complete my my thoughts. Now, I was just making the point that the new bill is trying to change something which is governed by the British Nationality Act. The British Nationality Act is the one which allows people in the overseas territories, when they reach 9 years, to apply for naturalization as a British overseas territory citizen and then get a Cayman passport. And then immediately they can also apply for a British passport. Now, all that is regulated by the British Nationality Act. So I'm not quite sure when this bill says, well, we are now going to change naturalization for people married to Caymanians. There's some detailed provision they have in there to say that you can only get naturalization after 15 years. But I don't think the Cayman government has got the power to do that. And I remember that when the minister was on Radio Cayman some time back, I pointed that out to him, and one of his staff said, oh, but we are aware of it. But again, they seem to have made that mistake. But they need to explain it. In case there's something I haven't read, maybe a new amendment in the British Nationality Act, they need to better explain it. Now, the biggest problem regarding all this is that government has not given us a projection of how these new measures will affect future grants of status. Because you remember that last year there were more than 1,500 status grants which were given, okay? They haven't told us to say, as a result of these measures, we expect that the status grants will go down to 1,000 or to 800. They haven't done that. Because in my view, these will have little or no effect, especially that they have a decision which they have made that it will not apply to the people already in government. So that if you have already, like if you're in government for 1 year, for example, it will still won't apply to you because your period of 9 years will start
January, right?
Okay, so to me, in other words, this whole thing basically, it will only take effect in 9 years because your time starts in January. So then after that, 9 years, then you will get rolled over after 9 years. So it is not going to have any immediate effect. It will only have an effect in 9 years. Meanwhile, you will be giving status at a rate of about 30 per week, which is what the rate has been. And at the end of the day, in my view, in 10, 15 years' time, I think the number of Caymanians in Cayman and in the workplace will continue going down to 15, maybe 10%. And I think, to me, at the end of the day, what Caymanians have to decide is, one, if you want real immigration reform, don't rely on this government to do it on its own because they have promised. What you need to do is go to the police station, get a permit to go to the street and demonstrate in a lawful way and tell the government that what they are doing, both in terms of the substance as well as the procedure, is totally wrong.
Well, let me ask you something now about the idea of limiting the number of status grants.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we run into some problem with the UK with that?
I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. Because, you see, the UK has got obligations to the European under the European Convention of Human Rights, and a certain directive which was given, which is that they should give people some kind of permanence in their overseas territories, as well as in the UK. After 10 years, they should have something. So that's why they give you naturalization at 9 years, so that they meet that obligation. But what they have done is they've said, if you as Cayman want to say that status will only be given at the end of 15 years, they've said, yeah, you can do that. That's why you can get BOTC before you get Caymanian status. Why? Because even as it is, the British government accepts that once it has met its obligation, giving you a British passport and BOTC passport, that's what they are interested in. If you want to have 15 years, which is what we already have, they have never interfered. If you want to increase that to 20 or 22, you can still have that. And then what you can do is you just need to be able then to say, well, the reason we are limiting status is because we have a right under Article 73 of the Constitution as local people, Caymanians of rights. We've got a right to self-determination, to protect our culture, to protect our history, and so on. That is a right we have under the UN Charter. And the only way we can protect that right, which exists in the UN Charter and other international human rights instruments, the only way we can protect that is by restricting status grant. And then after that, do it and then go to court. And if somebody wants to challenge it, you take it all the way to the Privy Council and to the European Convention of Human Rights. But the answer to your question is that no. The idea of the qualifications for status, even as it is, they are left to the local government, and the local government have to explain. In fact, it's good you asked that question. They have to say whether the reason they are not doing that is because of legal advice they have gotten, or whether they are doing it as a matter of policy. Okay? So that's the issue. In my view, I think it is because the private sector has got all these scare tactics, like unless you do this, we won't get the best people. Let me tell you, Charles, half the British people in Cayman, half the British people who are there are in Cayman because they couldn't get jobs in the UK. Okay, the other half could have gotten jobs in the UK, and some of them were working in the UK, but they for some reason they find Cayman suits them. So this nonsense that if you
the warm weather,
you see, you won't get people. Yeah, it is totally ridiculous. But that's my view about the immigration matter. I think they have finally signed away your legacy as Caymanians by this bill, because this bill is not going to do anything really significant to meet what the people have been asking. That's my rant for the day.
Okay, well, thank you.
I thank you.
All right, take care. Yeah, one thing that Mr. Billy said there was about town hall meetings to discuss this, because immigration is a major issue. And I think that would have been a good thing, rather than just relying on people to email in their thoughts on it, that they can attend a town hall meeting and have a verbal exchange with the minister. We have another caller. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I would just like to say to that gentleman, the fox can't get the grape, so he says it's sour. Applies to him. He calls in a lot.
Yeah.
on this immigration matter to every show, and it's always the same point. Like he could stay in Canada and call the shows here. Try somewhere else if Cayman doesn't want him. Don't criticize all our rules.
I think he may have status.
So why is he staying in Canada and criticizing here?
No, I think he's in Cayman. I'm pretty sure he's in Cayman.
Oh, I always thought he was in Canada.
No.
Well.
He may have spoken at times about his work in Canada or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's in Cayman.
And criticizing all the laws that we have that he got status under?
Well, Mr. Billy used to write the laws.
I know.
He worked in government as a legal draftsman, so he knows about the laws. He drafted some of those laws that got passed in Parliament.
But I'm still saying that that's all he ever does on the show. Talk about what is wrong about our laws here.
Yeah, well, he has a lot of insight. He has a lot of insight into these things.
So does everybody else. They don't have to be a lawyer.
Well,
either you like it here, you're living here, and you like it here, and you enjoy living here,
but
or you...
Miss, remember, he very much is about the protection of Caymanians.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't get that.
Yes.
I don't get
I mean, he's saying that, you shouldn't be giving out more status grants than there are Caymanians born every year. Otherwise, if there's only 800 or so Caymanians born every year, but you're giving out 2,000 grants, the population is going to get unbalanced. That is his argument.
Well,
and you can see that if you're making Caymanians of 2,000 expats, but only 800 Caymanians by birthright are being added every year, pretty soon, well, not pretty soon, I guess we're already outnumbered. But can you see that?
I don't know, sir, because I know Caymanians that live all over the world.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up in Miami.
I know. I had a lot of neighbors in Jamaica that were Caymanians.
Yeah.
And they've been there all their lives. And when I try to tell them about the now Caymanians, they're talking about mosquitoes going up in cows' noses. And I'm saying it's not like that anymore. It's different. And they have the Caymanian look. They look like West Bales. They are from West Bay.
Cayman Brackers, too? I know a lot of Cayman Brackers went over there.
Famous Caymanians were my neighbors in Jamaica, and that's 52 years ago. And I'm telling you, it's a free world that people can go and live wherever once they follow the laws.
Yes, I think I hear what you're saying.
And live up to a certain standard.
But there's a great concern that Caymanians are being outnumbered by expatriates, and the whole Caymanian identity is being washed out. We're what as they would say, Caymanians are being marginalized. We're being pushed to the side into the margin, not in the middle of the paper.
Mm-hmm. And so he's thinking that our government, especially this one, in immigration, is making some wrong rules.
Well, he's saying that they're not coming through with what they promised.
Oh, boy. Well, I must be a real dummy.
No, you're not a real dummy.
I've lived here for over 52 years.
Yes.
And I've always lived by all the rules.
I'm sure you have.
And laws. And done voluntary services, fit into everywhere I could fit into.
Mm-hmm.
And life here is just beautiful.
And I'm sure you're a very good citizen.
Thank you. Anyway, he's always winding, and every show is giving so much time. He could have his own show. Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
All right. Okay, you take care. We could have the Mr. Billy show. We're going to take a break. Be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The 7 a.m. Sports Report, brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
Cybercrime happens online or through the technology we use every day. Anyone can be a victim of cybercrime, whether you are a young person being bullied or harassed online, or an older person or business who's been scammed out of money or personal data. Cybercrime is an issue that touches all of us. The Cayman Islands government has therefore created an online resource to help keep you cyber safe in an ever-changing world.
In online situations, it is better to be cyber safe than sorry. Learn now to protect yourself against cybercrime. Visit gov.ky/cybersafe.
It's time once again to dance for diabetes. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and BAF Insurance is inviting you to dance for diabetes with us on Saturday, November 14th from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. at 7 Mile Beach Park. Warm up with the Performance Lab, Zumba with School of Fitness. Bring a love gift for the Cayman Islands Diabetes Association. Refreshments courtesy of Reliable Industries. Registration is free, and let's dance for diabetes awareness. Register now at bafcayman.com.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's go straight to the phone lines. I have two callers, and I got 10 minutes to get you both in. So you each got about 5 minutes. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey there. Just to add to the last caller's comment, which is much respected. She's very keen on her listening. I'll just add to it. He does mention too, before Mr. Glidden, you came on, OC used to host the afternoon show. He does tell you, and in the morning, that they turned down his PR. So he does not live in Cayman. He does live in Canada. So she's actually correct. As for my details, for Billy, but a very respectable gentleman, so informative, and I tell you, from the legal perspective of things, a lot of, like you said, he writes, he used to write, or still, I don't know.
Yeah, he used to be the draftsman.
Drafts or laws and so forth. Very respectable person. But for fine details, she almost thought she was going crazy, but she's not. He does say it, and he used to mention it more than often. Back when OC used to host the afternoon show, and E-Banks used to host the morning and or afternoon as well.
Well, I'll have to ask him that next time he calls.
Yeah, it's details that we do listen to, but he has said it before.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And we have someone else on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Yes, how are you doing?
Fine, and you?
I'm doing all right.
Well, I didn't hear all your show today, but I heard the gentleman in regards to talking about more lighting on the roads and talking about our pedestrians and so forth.
Yeah, especially West Bay Road.
And I was just talking to someone this weekend that road do need more lighting to it. And I don't know why. Why who's in charge can't see it, knowing that there are tourists down there walking day and night, and they wear these dark clothes, and they have one or two little drinks in them, and they forget which side, the right side, which side, the left side from the right side that we drive on over here in this island. And that contributes to a lot of accidents on our roads as well too.
Yeah, and which side to look at when you first cross, to look which way you should look first,
Yeah,
because it's opposite.
And the thing with it, it really needs some more lighting on it, really do. And also the pedestrian crossing, like I said on this radio before, I have never seen a car at a funeral with any flowers on it to be buried. But people need to be more careful. Pedestrians need to be more vigilant than they are, because up here on the Newlands Bypass, which is Crichton Boulevard, we got people out here walking and riding in the morning, 6 o'clock, and do have one sign, a reflection on them, and 95% of themselves are in dark clothes. And it's, for some reason, Mr. Glidden, like they don't remember, and they refuse to learn how dangerous just about everything is now today in life. You got to be cautious. You got to be on your alert. You just don't say, well, they better see me. They better hit me. No, that's the wrong way to go with being on the roads, or even in your yard. People run into you, blast your yards too, and and must have your fence and all that kind of stuff. But we just too carefree over here, and we got this attitude. You hit me, I got the right of way.
Yeah.
And the pedestrian crossing,
I dare you to hit me.
Using it right.
It's like they're saying, I dare you to hit me.
Yes, exactly. And the pedestrian crossing, we got to put a sign up saying indicate. Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
We need to put some signs out now saying, stay off your phone. When you get to the pedestrian, stop, look, and listen. Do not just step down because you think you got the right of way. You ain't got no right of way until that car stops for you to cross.
Oh,
but we got some people here that I tell you, sometimes I wonder what they be thinking.
Yeah, they probably should have a sign at those crossings, wait until traffic stops.
But, Mr. Glidden, how much more signs can you put up on our street for these people? They need to take initiative for their lives and themselves and whoever's next to them. They're not protecting themselves, but yet we must protect them. It goes both ways. I want to protect you, but you're going to have to protect yourself too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have to take responsibility.
They just got to take it. And 7 mile whole stretch need more lighting. Even here on the bypass here, Crichton Boulevard, they got lights on one side and the other side is dark as the devil. And from the other day, I've been meaning to call to ask who's in charge and when are we going to get some more lighting on Crichton Boulevard up here in the Newlands Bypass. It's ludicrous. It's crazy. It's crazy.
First thing is the NRA. I mean, they were responsible for the roads. So.
Yeah, well, somebody need to get rid of that off of front desk in that computer and start walking these streets. Don't even drive. Walk the streets and see what is needed, because they're driving and they seem like they're not taking no notes when they're driving. The how legs up on the road is expired or blown, whatever. It takes forever for that to be reported off the CUC. The C is like everybody goes home in a helicopter and dropped it on top of the rooftop, and it goes down to the rooftop on a sling, and they're in the house for the rest of the night. They don't know what's going on in Cayman. All that got to stop, man. They got to stop. But Mr. Glidden, the day is too beautiful to end it miserable. So you have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the call. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Well, we're coming down to the end of the line here. Just got less than 4 minutes left. Been some interesting talk, everything from what we were just hearing there about the problems on the roads, West Bay Road, again, another pedestrian fatality happened over the weekend. A pedestrian being hit by someone, and this time was, the police are saying the driver was having a medical emergency. So that's quite an unusual one. But from everything that people have been saying, it is a very busy road with distractions. You have pedestrians crossing, lots of cars, and a lot of these people are visitors who aren't, familiar with our rules of the road. And even just crossing, when you cross the road, you got to know which way to look to see if the traffic is stopped or not coming first, because it would be the opposite in the States from what it is here. Let's see if we can get one more caller in here. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Charles.
Aha, there you are.
Yes.
You get the last word today.
I know you don't have much.
You get the last
left,
word.
But I agree with those people with it, especially that lady there with it, about the lights on the road. You need more lights on West Bay Road. It's a very important road. We all know. We don't have to repeat that. And the one along there to Rex Crichton, because I drive both of those very, very often. And for many years. And then the nights too. And that is a big problem, the lighting. As regards the lowering of the speed limit, it has worked. 90% of people are slowing down. But I see buses overtaking and speeding, local public buses many times, and other people also doing the same thing. There is that nonchalant Caribbean attitude, and I'll repeat that, a Caribbean attitude, not to obey rules. I'm not going to take that back. It's peculiar to the Caribbean people. We don't want to obey rules, and that's where we're at now. There's many more Caribbean people in other Caribbean islands here in Cayman right now, and we have seen what has happened, what the trend is. The pedestrian crossings, if they were to put a 300-foot marker before each crossing, either way, that you must slow down to 15 miles an hour, and you must absolutely $500 fine and 3 points off your license. It would help on that period of letting the lights flash and giving it that 5 or 3 second delay before when you press the button. That might also help. But what you suggested, that sign saying don't walk for a few seconds, and then when the vehicles have stopped. And we must drive with more care. Long before the 25-mile zone thing came about, anyhow, it was talked about for many years. But there was a young man on the radio once, and he said what I've said so many times over the years. That's a tourist area or principal tourist area.
That's the Strip.
You should drive slowly. Common sense in driving should tell you that you should slow down and be alert. Be alert, and that's the thing. You must always be alert when you're driving in this high pedestrian, very valuable pedestrian area. And remember one thing, our old road code book used to say this. The very first thing in it when we're taking your driver's license 60 years ago, that the pedestrian has the first right to the road.
That's
doesn't
it.
say you must jump out in front of a car, but that's what it says. That's the first rule in the book.
Always give way to the pedestrian.
Has the first right to the road. And when you're driving on roads like that, you must look out and give way to the pedestrians whenever possible. You must drive with more care. And of course,
But my friend, you get the last word. I got to go.
Many cars. Take care.
All right. Thanks for the call. That's right. Pedestrian has the right of way, not to jump out in front of the car, but yield to the pedestrian. Well, thanks for joining me here on Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. Have a great afternoon.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-606.